This is the moment the internet went nuclear, and I mean absolutely detonated. One short clip, just a few seconds of Meghan Markle swaying softly with a baby bump, no big announcement, no political statement, just a mother dancing in what...
Well, good evening from London. Welcome to Piers Morgan Uncensored. Today, Harry and Meghan torched what little was left of their relationship with the royal family and what little was left, frankly, of their own reputations. Last week was mostly sick.
She claimed it was a hospital room during labor. That's it. That's all it took to ignite one of the most vicious online firestorms we've seen in months. And once that fire was lit, it didn't just spread. It erupted into an inferno. What was supposed to be a sweet personal birthday tribute for her daughter Liette turned into an international scandal.
Old revelations with a new twist. As it turns out, we've apparently been wrong all along. Britain is a nasty, racist hellhole where only magnificent Meghan stood up to all this. And
the video hit social media like a spark and dry brush, and before anyone could blink, it was being shared, dissected, slowed down, zoomed in, frozen, and debated by millions. Supporters cried, "Beautiful!" Critics screamed fake, and then just... As the internet was reaching a fever pitch, Piers Morgan stepped into the ring.
No, the world's biggest victims right now are the Duke and Duchess of Netflix, and don't take my word for it.
This promise of once you're married.
On live TV, no filters, no hesitation, no soft gloves. He went in with a grin and a flamethrower, and I don't think anyone was ready for what came out of his mouth next when he cracked that birthing tape joke mocking the video like it was some kind of staged PR stunt. It wasn't just shade, it was demolition. Meghan Markle's pregnancy video wasn't just questioned, it was shredded. And let's be real, Morgan didn't sound like he was joking.
How hard I tried, no matter how good I was, no matter what I did, they were still gonna find a way.
He sounded like he believed every word, and I think he did, because this wasn't just a video drop. This was a move, a strategic post, a soft glow, sepia-toned campaign pretending to be a candid moment. Meghan's carefully posed bump dance wasn't just a nostalgic memory. It was a flashpoint, a powder keg, and when it went off, the backlash didn't just hit the video. It hit her entire brand.
Hours of this Netflix series paint a very different, far uglier picture of this country and our royal family.
She wanted us to see her dancing with joy. Instead, we saw the royal internet war reignite, and if you ask me, she knew exactly what she was doing. But the story starts with that one now infamous clip. Let's talk about the video because this wasn't just any Instagram reel. This was Meghan Markle, barefoot, smiling, glowing in soft hospital lighting, swaying gently from side to side, one hand on her bump, the other brushing her hair back. There was calm music playing in the background, and she looked serene, peaceful, maybe even angelic.
This series, and they'll believe it. They'll believe the smears about Britain and our monarchy, that we're a bunch of bigoted and hateful people. They even blamed Brexit for the racism which apparently was aimed at Meghan Markle, which is just completely absurd. But by far the most sickening part of this show for me was the constant use of Harry.
The caption told us this was filmed during labor, that she was dancing the baby out as she prepared to welcome little Liette into the world. On its surface, it was a celebration of motherhood, a tribute to life, a mother reconnecting with the moment she gave birth, except something felt off, really off. There were no machines, no visible medical staff, no IVs, no heart monitors, no wires or blinking lights, no sterile equipment or hospital hustle, just Meghan dressed beautifully, hair done, face glowing like she just stepped out of a wellness retreat, and the bump perfectly round, suspiciously firm, almost sculptural.
About an hour-long cab ride, never seen as grandchildren. This show is packed with a kind of spurious claims and hypocrisy that have become the Sussex signature. We learned they began making videos about their heroic journey 6 months before their Netflix deal was even announced, and right at the start of a pandemic that was...
People noticed, and fast. The comments were relentless. That's not labor. It looks like a maternity photo shoot. Where's the medical team? What hospital looks like this? Why is she wearing jewelry during labor? And then came the phrase that would define the backlash, moon bump, in just a few hours. The video had gone from a heartfelt tribute to a full-blown conspiracy theory, But Meghan's biggest critic hadn't even spoken yet, and when he did, we changed everything.
Proud to. If you excuse the massive book deals, the Silicon Valley startups, the preaching videos about well-being, the podcasts, the speeches, and the major network interviews with everyone from Oprah Winfrey to James Corden. But they've barely been seen or heard at all, have they? Well, on Thursday, they'll quietly and apologetically release their $100 million.
Then came the sledgehammer. Piers Morgan, the man who has never hidden his disdain for Meghan Markle, the man who's made a second career out of calling out what he sees as hypocrisy, fakery, and spin coming out of her camp. And he didn't waste a second. He went live, sat behind that desk, and with that signature smirk, he torched the entire video with one of the most brutal one-liners we've heard in a long time. Is this the preview to a Meghan Markle birthing tape?
Before we even get to the main event.
When the stakes are this high, doesn't it make more sense to hear our story from us?
Oh, shut up. What do you mean the stakes are this high? Who do you think you are? Other than a latte-munching imbecile.
He sneered. The studio was stunned. The audience froze. The panelists tried not to react, but Morgan didn't stop. He kept swinging. He said the video was so staged it made Hollywood look raw. He accused Meghan of turning a private moment into a performance.
Back of your head. This gruesome twosome only survived by cashing in on what's left of their royal status now. I said it before, I'll say it again tonight. King Charles should strip them of all their remaining titles and cast them out from any connection to the royal family. How could any of them trust them as far as I could throw them? Because without it, they're just whining millennial windbags.
Even questioned whether it was filmed during labor at all. He said what millions were thinking but hadn't dared to say out loud. And you know what? I think he meant every single syllable.
Favourite little niece, Ashley. Meghan also sees she got no advice on royal protocol, forcing her to learn how to be a princess all on her own.
Joining this family, I knew that if there was a protocol for how things were done, there's no class in some person who goes sit like this.
Because that wasn't commentary, that was a direct shot. A demolition job, and it worked. Within minutes, the clip from his segment was being reshared more than Meghan's original video. People weren't just watching her reel anymore.
Press show her wearing pretty much every colour in the rainbow. The show opens with the claim that the royal family declined to comment on the series. That's another lie. The palace says it received one email from an unknown company and attempts to verify it.
We're watching Piers destroy it. Suddenly, Twitter was flooded. The moon bump crowd activated TikTok sleuths, and side-by-side breakdowns were uploaded. Body language experts weighed in. Video editors examined the lighting and background shadows. Even Meghan's own supporters went quiet because the fire was too hot. And just like that, a private family moment became public theater. And Meghan Markle, she wasn't the director. She was the headline. But what came next took the drama to an entirely different level. Here's where things got weird. Really weird. If you've never heard the term moon bump, welcome to one of the internet's strangest rabbit holes. It's a conspiracy theory that claims celebrities, especially high-profile women, wear fake baby bumps made of silicone to pretend they're pregnant. And Meghan Markle, she's been their poster child for years. The moment her new dancing clip dropped, those same communities lit up like Christmas morning. They declared it instantly Exhibit A. The bump was too round, too stiff, too still, too perfect within hours. Self-proclaimed pregnancy experts on TikTok and Reddit were uploading side-by-side analysis videos pointing to every wobble, every shadow, every subtle bounce or lack thereof. Viral clip with nearly 1 million views slowed the video down frame by frame. Look at the way the bump doesn't jiggle. The narrator says, "That's not body tissue, that's foam." Another user wrote, "Her belly button is in the wrong spot. It's too high. That's a prosthetic shell, not a pregnancy." Some even took it further. They claimed the video was AI enhanced, digitally smoothed to make the bump blend in. They pointed to glitches, overlapping frames, and visual oddities. One viewer claimed the outline of the bump was gliding unnaturally across her dress like it was layered in with software. Another added, "I work in VFX. This is green screen energy all over it." Do I think some of that is ridiculous? Sure. But do I think the internet wanted to believe it? Absolutely, because the idea of Meghan Markle faking a pregnancy is the ultimate royal scandal. Bigger than backstabbing, bigger than quitting the firm, bigger than anything else, it's betrayal wrapped in deception with a crown on top. And for people who already don't trust her, this was the proof they'd been waiting for. But the bump wasn't the only thing they were tearing apart once they were done with the belly. They started analyzing the room. And let me tell you, it got intense. Frame by frame, pixel by pixel. Everything in the background was ripped to shreds. First, the setting. This was supposed to be a hospital room, right? But it didn't look anything like one. There were no medical instruments, no fetal monitors, no beeping sounds, no nurses walking through, no curtains, no IV stands, just soft white linens, cream-colored throw pillows, plush armchairs, a vase in the corner. You'd think she was filming an ad for a maternity spa, not giving birth to a royal baby. People started asking, what kind of hospital room is this? Is it even a hospital at all? Some speculated it was a stage set in a private home or studio. One TikTok theorist said it resembled a mock birth center used for influencer photo shoots. And another Reddit user broke down luxury birthing suites in California and concluded, even those have visible monitors. This is a showroom. And then there was Meghan herself in full glam, hair brushed out, a soft glow on her face, big hoop earrings dangling, and a gold bracelet that hadn't budged. Her dress had no wrinkles, no sweat stains, not even a wrinkle on the bed sheets. She looked like she was about to attend a baby shower, not push out a baby. The comments were brutal. She looks too perfect. One said, labor isn't a photo shoot. Another read, I was giving birth and vomiting on myself. This is insulting. One comment that got tens of thousands of likes said it best you don't wear full jewelry during labor unless you're in a Hallmark movie. And honestly, I kind of agree. If you're going to present this as a raw, authentic birth moment, then don't dress it up like a campaign shoot. Because the second you do, people stop believing the message they see through the lighting, through the set, through the performance. And that's what makes this whole thing feel strategic. It wasn't just a video, it was a message crafted to reshape Meghan's image as a mother, a nurturer, and a symbol of light. But the audience wasn't buying it until a professional entered the ring. Just when the theories started boiling over, someone finally tried to inject a little sanity into the chaos. Enter Pip Davies, a practicing NHS midwife with years of experience delivering babies, spoke to multiple news outlets and broke down the video from a clinical perspective. And to her credit, she didn't jump to conclusions. She didn't mock. She explained that every pregnancy is different. Some women carry low, some high, and some have firm bumps, while others have soft ones. She pointed out that in the final weeks of pregnancy, if the baby has dropped into the pelvis, the bump can look firmer and more compact. It doesn't always jiggle or move the way people assume it should. She also addressed the dancing. According to her, early labor can last hours or even days, and during that time, it's perfectly normal for women to walk around, stretch, sway, or yes, even dance. It's not unusual. In fact, it can help with pain and speed up the process. She called it a form of movement therapy. It happens all the time in birthing centers. As for the jewelry in the room, she said, private hospitals and birth suites can look more like luxury hotels than clinical units, and women often wear what makes them comfortable. Not everyone strips down into a gown immediately, especially not at the very beginning of labor. So medically, the video checks out, at least on paper. But let's be real. This isn't about paper, it's about optics. It's about trust. And Meghan doesn't exactly have an overflowing bank of public trust to draw from right now because, while one midwife might shut down the medical conspiracy, there are thousands of critics online who aren't looking for medical truth. They're looking for cracks, they're looking for lies. And this video gave them plenty of places to start digging. But just when things were calming down, another issue exploded. The question no one could ignore: if Meghan wants privacy, why keep posting these personal moments? And that's when the next scandal hit full steam. People didn't forget Meghan and Harry's public exit from royal duties. They said they wanted privacy. They didn't want to be hounded by cameras. They fled the UK, cut royal ties, sued tabloids, all in the name of peace. But now they're posting intimate hospital footage. And not just any footage, a glamorized labor dance. Royal commentators called it hypocrisy. Ingrid Seard even said it was baffling behavior for someone who sued newspapers over photo invasions. I think that's what's frustrating people. It's not the bump, it's the contradiction. You can't call for boundaries one day and then drop polished personal footage the next. It doesn't add up, and every time they post something candid, it looks more like a PR chess move than a moment of honesty.